Hey everybody, welcome to So Many Sequels, your book club for movies. I'm Josh.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm David.
Welcome to the show. Go to SoManySequels.com, subscribe to the show on YouTube or Spotify or wherever you get podcasts. On this episode, we're going to be talking about just what else we've been watching, catching up on stuff going on in the movie world. We're going to kick things off here with David is caught up on a couple things. I think one of these is a new movie, and you caught up on a Pixar movie that is now available on streaming. Hit us with those first.
Yeah, let me talk about the one that was enjoyable first, and that was Elio.
Oh,
This Elio came out earlier this year. It did not do great opening numbers. There was a lot of ballyhoo at the time about original Pixar productions and sequels and sequelitis and all that. And this particular one, by all accounts, had a pretty troubled edit. If you watch the very first trailer of Elio, it's very different than what we actually see here. So there was a lot of changes in post. That said, the final product is fairly nice. It's a story about a little boy who feels like an outcast, feels like an outsider, and he thinks that if he could just get abducted by aliens, that would be like the place to be. And lo and behold, he gets abducted by aliens, and then he has to become a hero. But then he learns about his value and his value with his family and things like that within his family, because it's just him and his aunt.
is it
Overall,
just Lightyear?
No, it's better than Lightyear, but it is.
Okay. That's good.
But overall, really nice. I think I couldn't drag my son to watch it. I said, Jack, we're going to watch Elio. You want to watch it? And he goes, maybe later. And he ran off. But still, I thought a fairly nice movie. Not necessarily going to I don't think it made my top 10 for the year, but it's definitely top 15 so far. I would recommend it if you're looking for something else to add to your list this year. One I would not recommend, unless you just want to join me in my misery, is Playdate, starring Kevin James, Alan Ritchson, who some might know from shows like Blue Mountain State. He was Aquaman in Smallville. He's been in a lot of things. He was in that live-action Michael Bay CG Ninja Turtles movie. He was like Raphael in that.
You're not naming one thing that's been memorable.
You would recognize him if you saw him, though, I think. Anyhow, it's like an action comedy, and I'm just going to say, this is what I put in my Letterboxd review. It's not that I think terribly highly of Kevin James, but I think higher than this. Nobody in this movie was like made better for this movie. And here's what I will say. I think Kevin James, because I've been watching this Matt Taylor TikTok stuff. Josh may be aware of that. Garrett probably no idea. But I think Kevin James has the capability of doing a Ted Lasso style project, of being like a really sentimental but also part something kind of funny thing. So that's what I want for him. However, the premise of this is that Kevin James is his stepfather, and he's trying to bond with his son, he's not into sports. Kevin James, like, all he knows is sports. That's how he related with his dad. This kid's not really into sports. He's into TikTok dancing. And they go to the park, and they run into this dad and his son, and they're like buddy and perfect together and hanging out. And the other son invites them over to his house, and he's like, Dad, can we go? And he's like, weird. We just met these guys. I want to bond with this kid. A few moments later, he says, you and your dad seem pretty close. So the kid goes, oh, he's not my dad. He's just the guy who took me. And you're thinking to yourself, what the hell? What does that mean? That's about as interesting as the movie gets, because the rest of it's bizarre and silly after that. But yeah, I don't know. Just not a super great movie. I don't want to give away the movie, but
Why? I'm not going to see it.
So if you're cool, spoiler alert for anybody who wanted to watch Playdate on Amazon Prime, it's revealed that he took him from a government facility where he was being trained to be, this kid was trained to be a government assassin, basically.
No.
Then it's revealed that the kid is actually a clone of Alan Ritchson's character, who is deemed to be the perfect soldier if he just was more of a ruthless killer.
They tried as Winter Soldier this movie?
Basically, it gets really silly. It does have, oh, darn it, what's his name? Paul, what is it, like Walter Hauser or something like that? You guys know him?
That is him, yes.
He's very funny. There are some occasional laughs in it. That said,
Garrett, I want you to unask that question.
It just stunk. So if you want to join me in watching and having seen a bad movie, if you want to round out the bottom of your list, go ahead and check that out.
Wow.
But yeah, those are my. And then I watched a movie we can talk about here in a minute. But me and Josh went and saw the same movie.
Yeah, exactly. The big new movie of the past week is Wicked for Good. I went and saw it. You went and saw it, so I figured we could talk about it together in our little combo here. Obviously, the sequel to the hugely successful first installment that came out last year. They split the play into two parts, turned it around. I think they filmed it together, so the release was able to come out a year later. And you'll see, we'll talk a little bit later about how it had a huge box office success, broke the record set by its previous installment of the biggest opening weekend for Broadway adaptation. So that's exciting. But I was really excited to go see this. I've seen the show before. I enjoy Wicked, so I knew what I was getting into. I also knew to have a little, or at least for me personally, I was going to have a little bit of hesitation just because it's Act 2. It's Act 2. Thank you. Well, anytime a story is split in half that way, I feel like the second half can suffer easier because it doesn't have as much of a contained story. And I don't know. I don't feel like it suffered from that too much here, as much as I feared. It did a tiny bit, but overall, I still had a great time. Another tough part is there's no defying gravity in the second act. The biggest, most popular songs, no pun intended, are in Act 1. There's a couple bangers in Act 2 though. So it's not it's not duds. It's tough shoes to fill, but I think they filled it.
They didn't even do previously on Wicked set to the tune of
No.
Defying Gravity.
Not
like, how am I
exactly.
supposed to see it? What the heck, man?
Yeah,
We
you
all
don't-
know.
It'd be weird if you saw it without going to see the first one. That's all I'll
It would
say.
be strange. It'd be like seeing it
Not
chapter
if they
2.
put a recap set to Defying Gravity at the front. Here's what you missed on Wicked Part
They
1.
could.
Previously on. I can't do it.
There was a little intro from Cynthia and Ariana Grande.
Oh, were they welcoming people back to the movie?
They didn't.
They did.
They didn't quite.
No, they didn't welcome back to the
It was
movie,
more
but-
about thank you for continuing this journey with us, and here's the conclusion to Wicked. It was not thank you for coming back to the theaters.
No, they had me on edge,
This
though.
movie's been waiting for you.
No. But yeah, what did you think, David? I enjoyed it overall. I won't go to a full breakdown, but I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
The first Wicked for me really turned me around on the concept because I had never seen the show and I had only heard of it from my wife. And I know I'm strange. I don't like to listen to the music from musicals outside of the context of the production because I just feel like I'm missing things and I'm missing things. I'm missing the context of what's happening on the stage, the things that happen in the middle of the songs. It just feels weird to me. That said, the first movie, from what I understand, is mostly not a lot. They expand some moments. They make some things seem bigger. They let some more moments breathe, but mostly it's the same. And I know they did add a few songs here with Wicked for Good. And I was able to tell some of what the new stuff was. There were some things that I think were new that just blended in perfectly. There's an opening bit with Elphaba and Glinda where they sing revised versions of Loathing and Wizard and I, new refrains for those, that was cool. I thought that this was fairly good, to use the movie's terminology. I thought it was fairly good. I have some issues in some spaces. They're mostly nitpicking. They're mostly like rationalizing what happens in this with what happens in The Wizard of Oz.
No, you can't do that.
It's
This is
just
fan fiction.
I know that's what makes it so tough. Is fan fiction can be. That's the problem. Is that it does feel that this second half feels more fan fiction-y than the first half to me.
It is.
The first half's essentially a prequel. You have some room to gallop, if you will. Trying to shoehorn in the second act into what's also the primary plot of The Wizard of Oz just, I thought was going to be a tough go, and it was. That said, my only other nitpick is there are some sequences that are just so darkly lit that I didn't understand what the idea was. Josh, you'll know the song, but what was it called? for this moment or whatever. It was like the love song towards the middle. I was like, why is it so dark? I can't see anybody. Please turn a light on.
Rated R.
It was. They were getting
That's
racy,
why.
but I was like, give me something I can use.
Fiero was getting some green makeup on him.
So I just want to see what's going on a little bit. And then also For
Yeah,
Good,
you
which
do.
is the big number
Creeper.
of the movie, also lit weirdly too dark. Have people forgot how to light for night? I don't know what they're doing anymore. So
John Chu.
that's my only those are my only real, those are like nerdy complaints, but still it took me out of the moment because I was like, I can't tell what's happening. I'm an old man, I have poor vision. Please
That's why you should wear glasses.
give me some.
Maybe you need
I'm,
glasses.
I'm wearing the contacts
well,
right
I know
now.
you do. I know. But
Okay.
maybe you need to up your Coke
I
bottles
forgot.
or
Yeah.
something.
I need to get new I need to go
Yeah,
Get them
stronger.
thicker
Prescription,
contact.
Or I got to sit closer to the screen now.
Make
Anyhow,
yourself that little wolf with the woo eyes.
Okay.
With
I
those
did-
thick old cotton.
I did think that like everybody was solid. I think there are some story problems I have, but overall, I still rate it very highly. I don't rate it quite as highly as the first one, which I gave 4.5 stars, but I rate this one pretty well. So, I recommend it.
Yeah, I do too. I'm sure we'll have plenty more to say about Wicked as the award season heats up. I expect it will be celebrated as the first one was, so lots to talk about there. And we've got to figure out how to get Garrett to watch them.
We just got to make it a theme for
There
this.
has to
So
be
we
a
got to do
way.
we got to do an
Musical Maine.
Oz
We could.
October.
There's enough movies to do an Oz month.
Because there's The Wizard of Oz, there's these two Wicked movies. There's also Return to Oz in 1985, which is a really weird.
There's all kinds of.
There's a really
there's
weird
The
story
Wiz.
about how that
We could
production
watch The
came
We
Wiz.
could
The
watch
Wiz as well.
The Wiz. Yeah.
We could watch
watch-
Tin Man, the sci-fi
See,
series. You remember
there's
that?
options. There's options.
I'm sure there's a horror movie adaptation somehow.
Probably.
Somewhere.
Always got to be. I think it's in public domain for sure.
All right, we'll let y'all know. But that's it for Wicked for Good. Garrett, what have you been watching? I know you've been catching up on some stuff lately.
Yeah, the few streaming services that I still have are getting full of movies that I need to help pad my stats in for 2025. So that's what I spent the last week doing. I watched Nobody 2. Have you guys seen that? I can't remember if
I
we've...
never saw
Not
Nobody. or
yet.
Nobody
Not
2.
yet.
Nobody. Excellent. Bob Odenkirk, John Wicking it up. You wouldn't expect Bob Odenkirk as like an action star, but somehow he really pulls it off. Nobody 2 is an unnecessary sequel, truthfully. Like, I was truly bummed because I really liked Nobody.
Mhm.
And I really like Bob Odenkirk, and I will watch him kick people in the face. That's cool. I will, like, the fight scenes are still good. Choreography is good. But it just felt, let's just do it. I don't know. It wasn't very good. I truthfully don't remember much about the plot. He's on vacation, and obviously he's not on vacation because he's still kicking people's butts. It just was not near as good as Nobody. So take it or leave it
Dang.
is where I feel on that one.
All right.
If you like Bob Odenkirk and want to see him just beat people up, highly recommend. I would watch it for.
I don't know that I feel compelled because I
Yeah.
do love that first one, and I think why ruin my outlook on it?
Yeah, I would. That's it. Didn't ruin the outlook on the first one, but it is certainly one where I go, this is just the first one is real. The second one's not real.
I'll save it for if I get snowed in or something this year.
Good
Sounds like a good
movie,
snow day movie.
for sure. The Naked Gun is also out on streaming now, and I
Yeah.
finally had a chance to see it. And you got, I know Josh has seen it. David, did you also get to see that one?
Yeah, I
Okay.
went and saw it too.
Hilarious. Absolutely loved it. We've had some really good comedies this year.
We really
Not just this one, but oh my God, the Kiki Palmer and
Mhm. One day after another,
yes, thank you. I can't remember.
or
the
one of
name.
them days.
We-
Sorry, I think of one battle after another. Then one. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So it was super great. Liam Neeson, the perfect person to pick that mantle up, because at some point in time, Liam Neeson movies did become a joke of themselves.
Mhm.
And so to really just lean into that and go full force was amazing. It was just machine gun rapid fire joke after joke. There were moments where I had to pause it to catch my breath or be able to like back
Well,
up
it's a
because I
joke
missed a
every
joke
20
laughing at it.
seconds. Yeah.
Yes. It was excellent. Truly loved it. Very happy that people seem to be ready to laugh again. So I hope that we get
I
more
think
good
people
comedies.
are desperate.
Make
Yeah.
comedy legal again.
Oh, please.
Yeah. I'm really hoping that we get some people really putting some effort into comedies and not just fart jokes that get bought by Netflix. Because that's what happened.
It's
And
a
then the last one
well-placed one.
A strategic fart is always a good fart.
I'm sure there was some
agree.
in Naked Gun, I think.
Yeah. There was that whole sequence where he was eating the
Yeah.
chili dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The last one that I saw, The Conjuring, The Last Rites, the final in this franchise, at least with Ed and Lorraine. And Ed and Lorraine? Will there be more? Maybe? They set it up to possibly do that, so we'll see. We saw the last one for this show, so you can go check out the review of that. We were all how we wanted it to be. It wasn't bad, but it was like it could have been more.
Yep.
This one was more. This one was so good. It was so scary. And truthfully, like, I don't feel like I've seen a scary movie this scary since Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise is the last movie that I feel like that came out that actually scared me. This one legitimately scared me.
No,
Have you seen that? Yeah.
I
Josh?
did. Yes, I did.
The Conjuring Last
You
Rites.
agree? Yeah.
Yes. I'm pleasantly surprised.
You didn't think I was going to like it?
I just didn't think I think I was a little bit more high on it than most people seem to be, so I just expected.
Oh, interesting. No, I thought it was so scary. I thought they really brought in the characters that they brought in for this. I haven't seen the second one. I think it's the only one in the franchise I haven't seen, or any of the branches or anything like that. So like the Annabelle stuff, I haven't seen. But man, this one, that woman's face was so scary every time it popped up. And that was a jump scare, but those are good jump scares. She is a scary looking demon. And
Yeah.
Ed and Lorraine are such intriguing characters and people because a lot of this is based on their real lives. And it's just really fascinating because
That
they
is-
have so many stories, and I don't really believe all of that. I like to believe that it's possible, but they have so many that it goes to the point of I can't believe all of it.
No, this
But I
one in
can't not believe any of it.
particular, though, was based on one of the real cases that I looked up afterward, and it was really interesting just to follow the sensationalism of it all.
Yeah, the Smurl family, I think,
Yep,
is
yep,
the
yep,
name
yep.
of the family. Haunted by this evil mirror. And listen, don't buy old mirrors at a thrift store and give it to somebody as a gift. They don't want it.
Yeah.
That's
A,
a given.
it's haunted. B, it's an old mirror. What they gonna do with it? They don't need it.
For sure.
Exactly. It's a waste of everything, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay,
Those-
yeah.
I highly recommend all of them.
I'm looking
Except for
forward to
nobody
that
too.
one. I plan to watch it sometime soon.
Sweet. It's on HBO, I think. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's where I've been seeing it pop up. All right, let's talk about a couple of news items on the agenda for this week. First off is the annoying release of Netflix's new Knives Out film, Wake Up Dead Man. Before we even get started, I try to come at this from all sorts of angles because on one hand, I hear what Ryan Johnson is saying, but then I also know what he agreed to. I'm a little
Right.
like on that hand, I'm like, okay, but it is Netflix. And then on the other
Mhm.
hand, with Netflix and these theater chains, I'm still like, I don't get the allergic to money thing. I just don't get it. This movie will be released, we don't even know yet the final count, but it will be released in significantly fewer theaters than Glass Onion was a few years
Yeah,
back.
because
when
we
it came
got
out.
Glass Onion here in Tulsa. We were able to see it
Yeah.
at Circle Cinema.
We did.
The interesting thing about the Glass Onion release, just to slide this in, that movie did about the same numbers that K-pop Demon Hunters did this year in 400 less theaters. So imagine what Glass Onion Wake Up Dead Man could be if Netflix and AMC and whoever needs to come to an agreement.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
I actually found
Let's
an
talk
article.
about the story a little bit
I
here.
was going to say, I actually found an article from AV Club where when Ryan Johnson responded to a fan about being frustrated, it was actually a fan who was upset that there wasn't going to be a screening anywhere within driving distance of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I see that here too. Yeah.
So Johnson was helping out an Okie there.
Yeah.
He said, I'm as frustrated as you are that it's not everywhere. New theaters will be added, so keep checking. Also, if you are inclined, it wouldn't hurt to contact the manager of your local theater and politely ask them if it is coming.
I would say
Do we need a Bug Circle Cinema?
we can surely they know. I would say that, yeah, this is kind of Ryan Johnson's bed of his own making. And I think, again, Netflix, they don't want to put it in theaters because they want you to want to get their subscription if you don't already don't. But I don't have one anymore, and I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to pay X amount of money just to see this movie one time. I'm not going to do that. Were it to be in theaters, I absolutely would. But I'm not going to give Netflix my money for a month just to cancel it again. I'm not going to go through the hassle. No.
The frustrating thing about it is, one, that they did this with Glass Onion. And when they did that, they were contractually limited to one weekend. And that one weekend was, for only being in like 600 theaters across the country, a decent little haul for 3 days. And the fact that every metric that Netflix has cited over the years and other streamers have cited over the years is that theatrical runs entice people to watch the product on Netflix and other streamers more. That if you put a movie on streaming with no theatrical release, it will do worse than a movie that was in theaters for a few weeks because people feel like they missed something and they want to catch up. And to have the success they had just a few months ago by putting K-pop Demon Hunters into theaters for a limited release and it doing really well, and there was all this talk at the time that AMC and Netflix may be coming to some kind of arrangements, and then for arguably their two bigger releases of the end of the year, Wake Up Dead Man and Frankenstein, to neither one get like a wide release or any kind of even small limited release is so annoying. And yes, I know Johnson made this deal with Netflix. I think that clearly at the time he thought, I'll be able to convince them to release these in theaters because the first one made $300 million and had no expectations of making that much. So I'm frustrated. The closest showing to us here in Tulsa is Springfield, Missouri.
6 hours away.
So that's a haul.
Honestly,
And
I'd rather do that.
I've tried to
than give
convince my
money
wife to
Netflix.
let us do it. And she's on the fence. I don't know. I'm not happy.
I think that the takeaway from this is big time directors maybe don't sign exclusive rights with the big streamer just because they're going to give you millions of dollars. You're going to make millions of dollars if you put it in theaters if you make a good movie.
Now,
If you make a shitty movie, then it's probably a good idea to take the crappy money from Netflix and then put your crappy movie on Netflix. That's why they live there.
now
Don't
Johnson,
put your
I
good
don't know
stuff there first.
there's some other side of the story that we're not getting here too, which is Netflix and Johnson seem to be implying that AMC wouldn't agree to some kind of to the deal they offered. Something who knows what that deal was.
It was
But-
probably some crappy deal that the AMC wasn't
And
going to benefit from, and I don't
Yeah.
blame them a bit.
And that's
And
why
I
I'd
don't
love
blame
to
them a
find
bit
out
because
what
they
it
are the
was.
biggest theater chain. And so I do think that if Netflix isn't willing to give some kind of a deal for a wide release, then I, as AMC and the biggest theater company, am going to go, sorry, right? It's not going to benefit us. You made this bet. You lie in it. That's too bad to say, bro.
Well, whatever it is, I wish they could have just come to an agreement.
Yeah, it's a tough. I don't know. It's one of these things where I just don't see how anybody. I don't see how anybody wins.
Well,
The people who win, again, it is all just, for me, it's just stuff like this. It comes down, it's all about the money, and it's frustrating at this point in time because I'm just not at the point where I'm going to give these companies that are worth billions of dollars who keep raising the rates and not putting out enough good quality for crap. Yes, I do want to see Frankenstein. Yes, I absolutely want to see this. And I want to see Stranger Things, but none of those things are enticing enough for me to warrant getting the subscription to Netflix because I know nothing else is worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be good for 3 months and then it's crap. Just $20 that I'm just
Well, I mean,
throwing
that's the
down the
appeal
drain.
of being able to drop it right now. You can get it and drop it, and that's until they start locking us into 2-year contracts. That's as good as
Well,
it's
I
going to
do,
get
I
right
do
now.
fear
the
that's
benefit
what's
of-
next.
Yeah. The benefit of not, yes, they are absolutely going to start locking in contracts for people however long because this has just turned into cable. And again, the benefit of not having it is I have to make the choice. Do I want to spend $20 a month on Netflix or something else? And the answer is always something else.
Mm-hmm. Stinks. I just
don't
want to go
think so.
see. I just want to go see the movie in the theater. I feel like it's just unfortunately that's too much to ask.
I know. I agree. I'd much rather.
Got me over here trying to pull favors so I can drive to Springfield for a day.
Ridiculous, even. I tell you what. On a happier, I think, look at things going on in the film industry,
Mm-hmm.
Letterboxd is announcing an alternative video rental store, digital, of course. Although if there was like a Letterboxd Buster, is that anything?
Letterboxd box
Letter-
store.
Letter Blockbuster.
Yes, if there was that, I'd go. Yeah, but anyway, they announced this week that they're going to be launching the Letterboxd video store in December of this year, which is going to be like a curated indie, but not always indie, but just like Letterboxd centric video store. Stuff that's maybe going to be on festival standouts that haven't been distributed yet. They're talking about long watch listed titles finally being made available, restorations and rediscoveries worth celebrating, and limited time drops of sneak peeks and other unreleased gems, only for a short time. Letterboxd says that they're going to program these shelves using millions of watch lists, reviews, and other secret sauce signals. It'll be like the employee pick shelf at your local video store. Thoughts?
I'm really excited. I mean, I guess it'll all depend on what's actually available and whether or not I want to see that particular thing. But I think that if they can get connected, because there's a library streaming service, like something like Canopy or something like that, where you can stream like stuff that's out there that's like historically significant, but it's obviously not streaming anywhere. Movies from like the 20s and restored films from like the 30s that like aren't just readily available, but like that kind of stuff could be really cool. Festival movies that there's no other opportunity to really get to watch. That's going to be really cool. So I'm really excited to see how it goes. Does it say in here, is it going to be like a streaming thing? Are they going to send you discs? What are they?
No, it will be a streaming store. They said it'll be accessible where you can rent what you want and watch it on the web, iOS, Android, Apple TV, Android TV, Chromecast, and AirPlay.
Sweet.
Nice. Yeah, I think that they are doing it a smart way. Listen, if you're going to expand, you have to expand at your scale. And Letterboxd is such a niche thing that is growing into more mainstream, right? Like we've known about Letterboxd for quite a while. We've been doing the game for most of the seasons of the show. But I think that they have done a really good job of just growing over time in a natural way and letting people hear about it. They've got red carpet access now, and so they get all of these people
Oh my gosh,
on
yeah.
celebrity status talking about their top 4.
Yes.
So as they do more things like this, I definitely think that this is a smart way to start because this is how they also started. They started very small and specific in a way that was like, we're a niche community for movie fans. What is a niche thing that movie fans want? Indie movies that are on festivals. They want an opportunity to see that. Let's provide them that. And then, hey, did you guys know Letterboxd has a rent store? What? I didn't know that. Let me see. Oh, then it grows. Then more people hear about it. And then over time, they play the long game. It's not give me now. It's let's grow as we can with capacity. And that's the smartest way to do it. So I'm excited for that.
curated by staff and by watch list data is so much more interesting than when you open the TV app on any of your devices to shop the rental store and it's just algorithm based. Here's the big
Yes.
hits right now. And
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's great that the big hits are easily accessible, but yeah, I want to know, do a million Letterboxd users have this movie on their watch list and you would never know other than they just told us?
Let me see.
That's the kind of stuff that's interesting. So yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully it launches without issue. They just said December, so that's like next week.
Oh.
If they mean December 1st, I don't know what they mean. They say early December. Early December.
Just
All right.
in time for the holidays.
Let's wrap up with a quick look at the weekend box office. David?
Yeah, massive, massive weekend for Wicked for Good. $150 million here in the U.S., $226 million overseas. That is, I believe, one of the highest opens for. It's the highest open, as Josh said earlier, for a Broadway musical adaptation. Obviously, there's some animated musicals that have performed higher than that in recent years, but it's also going to be, I think, the third highest open. At right now, it's 150 million. It could go up or down from there. I believe it's going to make it like the third highest open for any movie in November, just behind Hunger Games: Catching Fire and Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So a massive weekend, and like I said, could go up from where it is right now after Sunday's finished. While we loved it, you might check other reviews and see what they say if it's up for you. But this is kicking the pants at the box office needed. 2025 hasn't been a bad year, but it's down a little from last year. Some big opens to finish the year out here could be pretty big. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, as in 9.1 million. Also, I believe Now You See Me 1 was directed by John M. Chu as well. He didn't direct, I think, this one, but he's involved in the past. Predator Badlands at number 3 with 6.2 million. The Running Man slides at number 4 with 5.8. And Rental Family brought in 3.3 million in the number 5 spot. This movie's opening wide next weekend. You have Zootopia 2 and Eternity, and then Wake Up Dead Man opens in limited release next week.
If you have an opportunity
Allegedly.
to go, let us know how it is.
Allegedly. I also, could somebody please open some more cool theaters around here?
Yeah.
We got a couple, but we need some more, clearly.
It's so I won't go on for too long about this, but it's a backhand thing of Glass Onion was allowed to be in like 600 theaters for 3 days, and this one's allowed to be in theaters even after it pops up on Netflix in limited theaters. Like,
Yeah.
that's the other thing Johnson said is,
I'm
it'll
looking
be in theaters after December 12th, which is when it's on Netflix, but
Yeah.
it's like way fewer.
All right. Yeah, let us know if you get to see it in theaters. We'd love to know what you think, and let us know if you watch it on Netflix when it drops. Go check out SoManySequels.com. Subscribe to the show on YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get podcasts. We will see y'all next time. Bye.